Hello, everyone. I'm truly excited today. I've got a very special guest with me. She's also a very good friend. She's the founder of Banjara Trail. She's representing modern Indian luxury. She's also an ex-roadies and an advocate to Indian craftsmanship. So truly excited to have her with me. It's truly a privilege and honor to have Miss Anmol Singh with me on the new episode. Welcome, Anmol. It's amazing to see you once again, after so many years. Um, so to
Thank
be,
you so much. Yes, it's just so lovely to connect with you after all these years.
yeah, it's been
And
a
yes, I'm
while.
so excited for this podcast that we have now.
All right, lovely. So to begin with, my first question, Anmol, would be, Banjara Trail, it seems less than a fashion label, but more like a personality. Was that the intention from day one?
Um, it was not like a conscious decision that I made that I want this to be like a personality-led brand. But I think what happened was that my personality naturally entered the brand. A lot of it is inspired by my travels because my father was in the Indian Army. So
Okay.
we've lived and traveled in the most remote places in India. Plus, my mother was an artist. So I've always sort of grown up around art, and all these things started reflecting in Banjara Trail. So I think it was a very natural alignment rather than planned.
Okay. And what part of Anmol Singh, actually exists in every Banjara Trail piece, according to you?
I would say it's my love for the craft
Okay.
because it's very easy for me to move to something simpler and mass produced. But I choose to keep the authenticity and the rawness of the textiles in every piece and make sure I integrate it in every design. So I think it's my love for the craft that you'll see in
Yeah.
every piece.
I'm proud to say I own a couple of pieces and I'm really enjoying wearing your brand. But, I see that, it carries both like chaos as well as elegance. So how would you define the balance personally?
I think when something is too overly polished, it sort of loses emotion.
Okay.
And on the other side, if you see, if something is very chaotic, it lacks refinement.
Right.
So for Banjara Trail, this is honestly a constant struggle because I want to keep the authenticity of the textiles there. I want them to feel emotionally alive, but at the same time, they need to have that refinement. So it is a constant challenge that I face almost every day working with these fabrics. But I
Right.
guess you just learn to get better at it.
But do you think today's fashion industry actually lacks soul despite, it's actually scaling?
Yes, definitely. Because fashion has just become very fast paced and it's so algorithm driven and it's so dependent on trends if you see. So what is happening I feel is that people are very aggressively chasing visibility. And somewhere down the line, storytelling, talking about craftsmanship has sort of taken a back seat. So what happens is that when you chase visibility so aggressively and you don't sort of make that emotional connect with the audience, there is some kind of a disconnect. And that's why we
Right.
often, like you said, feel that it lacks soul. I
Right.
think that is what it is.
And what was your obsession, with the mirror work, textures, embroidery, and the bold storytelling and aesthetics when it came to your brand?
I've really been obsessed with these. Um, For me, like see, Banjara Trail, what it means is actually a nomadic caravan. It's how gypsies travel.
Yes.
So when they move from one place to the other, they have this caravan with their camels and everything. I actually happened to visit one of these in Rajasthan,
Okay.
and I saw, whatever I saw there, it just sort of stayed in my subconscious. These people, since they're traveling from one place to the other, their life is very uncertain.
Right.
But even in that uncertainty, they have a zest for life. They're just full of color. Their clothes are unapologetically bold and vibrant. And it was that image that sort of stayed in my mind. And I felt that this craft is just so beautiful. It needs to be globally recognized. And I think that's how Vijara Trail started.
Okay. And tell me something, how do you protect originality, in an era where aesthetics are actually copied overnight?
It's very difficult. Um, but I don't want to get very obsessed with protecting originality
Okay.
because I feel that I'm just going to lose my creative flow. Yes, it's very upsetting to get up in the morning and open Instagram and see all your designs just being
Yeah.
copied
Yeah.
left, right, center all the time. It's very upsetting, but I feel you have a choice. Either you stay in that emotional loop, you stay stuck in that loop, or you just say that, look, I'm going to create something better and move on.
Right.
Because I feel that they can copy the garment, they can even copy the aesthetics,
Right.
but they cannot copy your vision, they can't copy your consistency,
Right.
and just the overall emotional depth that a brand has. That's very difficult to copy. So I just choose to sort of move on and keep creating better rather than get consumed by this.
Right. You know what I believe, fashion is more inbuilt than reading in books. So, what according to you, did Rajasthan and Indian heritage culture teach you, which probably the fashion books couldn't?
Um, when I look at all these luxury international global fashion houses, I
Yeah.
would say, what they show us, if you think about it, it's they show us minimalism and perfection.
Right.
But what Indian crafts show us is that beauty can be imperfect.
Yeah.
And it is that rawness, that story, the craftsmanship that actually makes them so beautiful.
Right.
That is the difference that I learned when I started working with these crafts.
Okay. And what is that one thing, about entrepreneurship, nobody warned you about?
Oh Lord. um, Being an entrepreneur strips you off emotionally.
Right.
In fact, there's a very interesting thing I read something, on Instagram, I'll tell you. It says that your business will expose all unhealed parts and traumas of your personality.
Right.
So, your traumas around money will show up in your pricing. Your abandonment issues will start showing up when employees leave. Your fear of rejection will show up in how you take risks.
Right.
And at every new level that you reach of your growth, you have to face these fears and you need to shed so many versions of your personality, develop new versions that are aligned with the new personality.
Yeah.
I would personally say it's brutal, but it's incredibly liberating at the same time.
Right.
I wish someone told me this.
And do you think, social media has actually helped fashion become more authentic or more performative?
Social media has given visibility to brands.
Yeah.
It's made a dream of opening your own label and brand come true, which
Right.
I think is great. But at the same time, it creates a lot of pressure because you have to constantly create, constantly be relevant. Most importantly, I would say constantly appear successful.
Right.
So all of that creates a lot of pressure. That's why I feel it's very important to stay authentic and grounded
Right.
because you can totally get consumed by
Right.
this whole social media game. It can just take over your life.
Right.
So finding that balance and staying grounded, very important.
What's the kind of pressure, you think it creates, actually becoming the face of your own brand, Not a lot of founders are the faces of their own brand, but you are. So, what's the kind of pressure which comes behind?
What happens is, I'll tell you with my experience, when you're the face of the brand, your personal identity and the business identity, the lines blur. So
Right.
what starts happening is that the success of the brand, the failures of the brand,
Yeah.
even criticism, you
Right.
start taking all that personally too. So what happens is that you want to grow, you want to evolve, but you have to then again balance your mental and emotional health as well.
Yeah.
So it's very important for every founder. I'm sure many founders watching this will agree
Yeah.
that at some point in time, we need to separate self-worth from business outcomes.
Right.
And that's easier said than done. That's the most difficult thing for every founder to do. And that's something I'm working on too now.
Okay. And I'm sure everyone has their own goals. They set targets for themselves. So today, if I see Anmol probably 5 or 10 years down the line, where do I see? What are the targets you've set for your self? Are you looking to expand internationally? You'd like, open stores everywhere. So, what are the targets you have, for yourself?
From the very beginning, global presence has been a very important part of Banjara Trail. That's something I want to do because I genuinely feel that Indian craftsmanship deserves the same level of respect and appreciation like all the other international luxury brands. I think the techniques that we have here are most intricate than anywhere in the world.
Right,
So, expanding globally is definitely something that I'm looking at doing because I
right.
want to reposition Indian crafts in a different way globally.
Okay. And if Banjara Trail became a film instead of a brand, what would be the storyline?
Like I was telling you about how it started with the gypsy caravans.
Right,
So it would definitely be about a typical Banjara nomadic caravan and their life, how they carry music, beauty, craft, culture on the go,
right,
and how uncertain their lives are, but they're still so joyful. And their unapologetic use of colors, the bold embroidery. It's just going to be a film about them because that's the inspiration behind the brand. So yeah, a gypsy, nomadic caravan.
And what, according to you, people should remember, Anmol Singh by, what would it be like, what she survived first, or the founder, the artist, or the emotion behind Banjara Trail?
I think there are stages. So when the brand started, I think it would be success and the need of freedom,
Right,
right? But now it's something different. I would want to create something meaningful and
right.
impactful enough that it can sort of outlive trends.
Okay.
So I would want people to remember Banjara Trail as something meaningful that was created that sort of helped reposition Indian craftsmanship in the world. So that is the aim right now.
Okay. So now it comes to a fun segment. This is the rapid fire round, just to know you more personally. These are going to be quick answers from your side. So
Sure.
heels or sneakers?
Heels.
Okay. EDM or house music?
House.
What is the one motto which Banjara Trail stands for?
Reimagining Indian crafts for a global audience.
Okay. What is your current favorite read?
I haven't got time to read anything. Honestly, I have no no time. But a lot of stuff that I keep picking up online and I keep saving. I think that's the because that's the limited time I have.
Okay. You just recently, were the designer for Femina Miss India 2026 Awards night. What is the one memory which stayed with you?
I think it was this year they had a tagline which was called Daughters of the Soil. And
Okay.
that's how they thought of Banjara Trail. So I feel that the fact that they considered Banjara Trail because of this theme means that the message that I want basically to be conveyed is reaching the audience. So that was very special.
Journey of roadies, journey of Banjara Trail.
Oh, Journey of Banjara Trail, for sure. There is a pre-Banjara Trail Anmol and there is a
Okay.
post-Banjara Trail Anmol. Very different personalities.
Okay. What
Definitely.
according to you is the one big difference between the millennials and Gen Zs of today?
God, this question. I think there are a lot of differences, but one thing I'll tell you. Um,
What we do better?
millennials
What
are
we do
just,
better?
I think we are just better human beings because we just I just feel because if I had to say something to my boss or even if you, we would think 5 times,
Right,
before talking to them, letting them know about what we feel, and there's a sense of respect. There's a sense of we look up to that person. Gen Zs are just on your face. I
right.
think they totally lack all of this, which is actually some people say it's great because they're
Yeah,
very outspoken and they're in
yeah, yeah.
touch with their emotions. But I think that is lacking. Millennials have that.
Yeah,
We
but
still have that. Still
yeah,
have that.
Yeah, but I think, one difference according to me, what I feel is, they are more risk takers than what we were. Probably, we would probably, think 100 times before doing
Yeah.
something. And
Yeah.
they, just do it at a snap of a finger, without
Yeah, yeah,
thinking.
because
But
they have so much. They've got AI, they've got
yeah,
everything. We didn't even have Instagram
right.
growing up. So imagine life without Instagram.
Yeah,
So they already have so much on a platter. So it just makes it easier for this generation
right,
uh, compared to us. Yeah, definitely.
right. According to you, which Bollywood or Hollywood celebrity would, fit in Banjara Trail as a brand ambassador, according to you?
I would definitely say Priyanka Chopra.
Okay.
Because
And why?
yes, she's defied all the rules. I mean, you look at her journey from where she started and how she's been able to create such an impact
Yeah.
globally. It's not easy. How many people have you seen do that?
Yeah.
So I think she's like a perfect brand ambassador for a brand like Banjara Trail.
I want to know, this is my final question of the episode. There are a lot of young, especially the youth of our country, young entrepreneurs, young women entrepreneurs, especially, who want to get into business. They want to start their own startup, but they don't have a platform. What is the kind of attributes one must have, or, to pursue this field specifically in fashion, and a message from your side to them?
See, I feel that if you have an idea, in today's world, we have everything.
Yeah.
Your platform will come, your investment will come,
Yeah.
your logistics will be sorted out, um, your PR will be sorted out. Everything is already there. Doing business in today's world, especially in a country like India, is, I think, it's the easiest it's ever been. So I would just say if you have an idea, the only thing you need to do is go for it.
Right.
Because what people do is that they keep thinking, they keep planning, ki jab ye hoga, then I'll do this, when I get that. I think just go for it because we already have everything.
Right.
Government has so many schemes to support women entrepreneurs. There's something else I want to add. We've got the Nari Shakti scheme, and there are
Yeah.
so many more, especially for women entrepreneurs. So even funding is very easy nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's just about having faith in the idea that you have and just going ahead with that. So a
Right.
lot of people stay stuck at that point, move forward.
Okay. And just want to know, what does success mean to you?
Success, for me right now, I would say with Banjara Trail, it is only the vision that I have. I want to see that come alive. And the vision has been very clear from day one, that is repositioning this craft for a global audience uh, because it deserves that.
Right.
We've always seen luxury when it comes from outside, it's real for us.
Yeah.
And Indian craftsmanship has not got the due it deserves.
Right.
So that is a vision that I have, and I just want to be able to help in that process to reposition Indian craftsmanship globally.
Lovely.
That is
This has been
success.
truly an inspiring chat. Anmol, it's so nice to have you, first of all, seeing you years later. And I'm sure all the viewers watching us today would be so inspired by your journey. And, thank you so much for giving the time to do this. And hope to see you on the other side really soon. Wishing you all the very best for all your future endeavors. So, truly looking forward
Thank
to the next time we probably meet here.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was so wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.